Hi guys, welcome! Another fluid art day. It's quite dark outside, so still too early to draw or paint something, and so I thought why not doing some voiceovers to show you some more of my projects. I wanted to create some space scene with resin and color, and this was basically my first attempt doing so, and I had no idea how to start actually. So I just went into mixing my resin and I added some color. As I wanted not to go that fancy with colors for this one, I just used a dark blue, a white, a yellow and a muted pink just to get some more color into the nebula. And these are just random acrylic colors, so nothing special, nothing expensive, just the ones that I had. Especially the yellow one was a quite cheap one, and yeah, I had no idea how they mix with the resin and if it works at all, so I just went for it. I also of course used some black, which is also nothing fancy, but I of course needed some black for the space as well. So I mixed my resin and I used the art resin here, which is a 50-50 mix, put it into smaller cups and added the color to each one. What I've heard so far, you only need a very little amount of color, so about 2 to 5% of the overall mixture should be color, the rest is resin, and I mixed it. The colors themselves intermixed quite well with the resin, and it was a clear and smooth mixture, so everything was great so far. I also added some glitter into the blue and the red, just to give it a more space-like shiny effect in the end. And then I went for the first project. The two canvases that I have here are 30 by 30 centimeters, so medium large ones, but a nice size for testing this. And for the first project here, I just added my colors in circular motions, as I wanted it to look like a star explosion, something nebula. So this was my go-to way to test this. I also made it black in the outsides, and I wanted to blend everything together in the end. To do so, I was thinking about just moving the color around, which did not work as expected, and so we decided to use a straw to blow the color around, which of course worked better, but in a way I lost the look of the exploding sun. First one was not as expected, it looked cool. I just realized in the edges when I added the white over the black that it looks cooler when you have a base color onto the canvas already and add another color over it. It just blends better. At these areas where I just put the colored resin, so the blue, reds and yellow, white, etc. on the white canvas, it is very bright, but you still can see the canvas through, so I do not know if I have used too little paint just to make it not opaque enough, or if it's just like it is, so that you should have a darker undertone to put color over it to make it look more realistic and give it more depth. And yeah, I'm not sure for this one, but I have another one to try, so I will go for it. I also realized that my canvas does not seem to be completely even, as it seemed that the resin moved to one direction, but it in a way helped the nebula effect for this one, so I was quite okay with it. Or at least I told myself to be okay with it. As my idea for the first one with the exploding sun did not work that well as expected, I wanted to go a bit experimental on the second one, so I just poured the color onto it without having any idea about the end result in mind, and I used my palette knife to swipe the color around a bit, so just to intermix it and make small thin layers of color over the other color and just see how this blends together. And it worked quite well. I also added some other colors on top of it and used my straw again to blow the color around, added more colors here and there, and this had more the effect that I was going to for the first one. So I had more soft layers and colors transition into each other and laying over the other color. So the second one I liked in a way a bit more. The second canvas also seemed to be more even than the first one, or I used less resin, I'm not sure, but at least these colors stood where they were. And as I was quite happy with the second one, I added just some glitter on top of everything just to make it look more star shiny like, and let it dry. And the art resin takes about a day to dry completely. I had plenty of time. After 3 or 4 hours the resin itself has more or less settled so that you can touch it without destroying the whole picture. But it will take about 24 hours until everything is safe and dried and Perfect. So I just left them there until the next day, and they did not change any more than what you can see here, which was great. And these are my first space pour artworks, which in a way for the first attempt I really liked. If you like them as well, I have put them onto my Etsy store. The link is below in this video if you want to have a look. I also have all my acrylic pours that I have available there on my Etsy store as well. And if you liked my video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing on this part of my art life or the realistic part of my art life. And if you have any questions, comments, tips and tricks for me, please comment below in the comments box. And I look forward to see you in my next videos. I wish you a great day. Bye bye.